Uh,
All right.
I'll
So
watch the VOD.
this sounds good. So I just started recording so that you guys know there, and then let me set it up so I'm streaming to the thing. Here. Where the hell is the button? All right. You guys should see this stuff.
Uh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Um, so first things first, I pretty much every editor has some type of like media bin type thing. So this is Movavi Video Suite. I've been using this for years. Hold on, let me. Of course, my dog would start doing stuff now.
Dano.
That's funny. So
right.
you saw sir? That's good.
Oh my god, I went to bed so early, and I'm like, I don't go to bed for like another 2 or 3 hours. This is gonna mess me
Oh,
up.
God.
But
Okay. So I shut the door, so it should be uninterrupted now. Um,
Should.
yeah. So pretty much all video editors have some type of like media bin. It's basically where you drag and drop your stuff that you're wanting to like work with. So all I did is I have like a thing here. I just have like I keep personally I do recordings locally for clips, and I then make my compilations and stuff from these clips, and I just sort them in different folders. So it's easier for me. But one thing that I would recommend here, I'm gonna open up a crazy OBS situation, right? Um, but in OBS, you actually have although it's recording right now, I have it set up so that in the settings, let me see. Okay, so settings in, I think it's output, the replay buffer. This is one of the coolest things. If you have the hard drive space, if you're wanting to keep track of your own stuff, um, so what you do is you assign a hotkey in OBS, and when you hit that hotkey, it'll like, so what it does is it's constantly recording 30-second clips. So like from right now to 30 seconds ago, that's what it's holding, and it keeps erasing it as it goes. And you can do this even if you're not locally recording your stream. You just have it where you're just streaming, doing your regular thing. Well, what I do is I have a hotkey where I just hit it, and for me it's a F9, I think. Or there's a save replay, I say instant replay, yeah, F9. What that does when you hit that, it automatically creates a file of the last 30 seconds of your stream and puts it in a folder that wherever you want it. So,
Nice.
and you can adjust that time. So like if you want it to go longer, I mean, you totally can. I just do 30 seconds because usually that's enough. But I wanted to say that uh beforehand, because for people that are making like clips and stuff of their stream, this is the easiest way to do it. And you can set that time frame to however long you want it. Like you could do 60 seconds if you wanted to, or however long. And then that way you're able to get a lossless file. So, when you're streaming to Twitch, they're going to compress the crap out of it. And so when you re-download it from Twitch, sometimes it's not going to be as good of a quality. So if you want a lossless file, do this.
Nice.
So I just wanted to mention that before we get going. And then also, what kind of brought on doing this tutorial was that we were having issues with like audio consistency on some people's streams when we were making the clips and stuff. So one thing you can do on that is you can actually, under your filters on like your microphone, you can set up like a limiter. And so what this will do is I'm not gonna do it on on this call right
Yeah.
now. But what it can do is like, so for instance, if I was playing a scary game or something, I would put a limiter on. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna cap the volume of my voice to, in this case, you can see it stopping right there. That is making it so that it will not go over 6 dB. So 6 decibels. So like, because a lot of streamers, what they do is they're they're talking and it's more like right around here. It's right around this like -20. And then some crazy shit happens. And then it's all like really, really loud, but it's so much louder than everything else that it really kind of messes with doing that. What you can do is you can do this limiter and it can keep it in more of a manageable level for when you go back and you are doing your replays or your clips that you make. So I actually made the my instant replay hotkey because I was doing scary streams. And you know, usually that stuff is like a very big like jump scare that like jumps out at you. So I could hit the button real quick and I already have a clip set up for making a compilation later without having to like count on like, you know, somebody in the chat, you know, making the clip or me going back through my VOD later. So I just wanted to mention a couple of those things for some of the people that may watch this later that are wanting to improve kind of their stuff that they have going on as well.
Yeah,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, because it drives me nuts when people expect their viewers to clip their clips for them, and then they think it's weird to clip themselves.
Yeah, totally.
I normally don't clip them. I just literally I leave a marker, and then because obviously when you clip them, they're always not in the right place, and unless you're taking ages to edit or tweak that clip, I just leave a stream marker.
Exactly. And that's kind of what this tutorial is for, is let's say you do have that clip and it's taking ages for it to happen or whatever. Well, you can take that clip. We're going to take this one here, slap it in our editor here. Now it's going to take a second, but in all editors, you usually can see without much trouble the audio as well as, you know, you can see the spikes. So if you are hypothetically trying to do a quick, I call it like a quick and dirty edit, like you're just trying to find, okay, what's the exciting spot, right? I can probably gander or guess here that all of this to the left of here is probably not something I would even want to clip. This looks like regular talking. Hey, okay, this is loud. Something happened in this general area. So what I'll typically do is I'll just take it and I'll immediately trim that off without even now, mind you, this is on my own stuff. But if you're working for somebody else, you may want to just watch it. I mean, if it's 30 seconds, it's 30 seconds. But like when I'm doing like video editing for like General Andrews or, you know, whomever, I may get a file that's like 2 hours long. And watching the entire thing can make it very difficult to find, you know, the spots, and obviously it kind of leads to burnout because you're just sitting there, you know, looking for, okay, what do I clip and stuff, and then you can visually see it. It makes it a lot easier. So then I play it through. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because this is usually pretty loud on this. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear this in the Discord stream, but
Yeah.
You gotta admit. Okay. Damn it. I was gonna say until it wasn't good. You know, that looked pretty good. Okay. So let's say hypothetically, I like where this starts. I like where it ends. But let's say I want to bring down the volume level of the voice. Let's say that this is like a scary game and this right here is like a scream. So I can zoom in to make it even better. So I can, you know, typically you want to, or at least when I do this, I want to be as zoomed in as I can be on the project while still seeing the whole thing. Unless it's a really long one, obviously, because then you're not going to be able to fine tune it. But like, I mean, I can zoom in to the point where I can look at, what is this, 100th of a second? I can move and actually, oh no, I can move it in the 1,000th of a second mark. So like if you need it to be super precise, but for most of the stuff that you're going to be doing, you're not going to need that. So what I do, and this is what I do in Movavi, super quick, super easy. So I look for, okay, let's say this was a scream. I immediately get to, you know, basically where I see it starts. So let's go right there. I'll put in a split. So I basically split the file. Then I'll go to the end of it. Let's just say that's the end of it again. I'll split it there. And this is how easy it is to adjust audio. So I'll just click on the audio portion and drag this down.
Ooh.
So now this is going to
Pull the
be,
volume down.
so I just pulled the volume down on that one screen. So here's
Nice.
the before. Whoa. And when I pull it down, I can have it be, let's just say right here, because you still want it a little bit louder than the other stuff. Whoa. You gotta admit. And so now it's more manageable, or I can adjust, I can adjust even more. So it's that simple as far as like fixing audio issues. Now, these don't exactly correlate to, okay, well, this looks about like 4 times higher than this, so this is probably 4 times as loud. It's not really. It's not so much that, but it is so that you can see it. Now something that I was, so let's just watch this beginning again. And let's say you're gonna watch this on because most of these probably end up going to Twitter or somewhere where people can watch your clip, right? And so this starts immediately and it's going. What you can do is every editor has this, but they have something where you can just like a simple fade in. I do this all the time for videos that I do a really like quick and dirty edit on, and it fades in both the audio and the video for a second. Super simple, and it's to me it's more appealing than like a hard cut start. Also, if somebody is like doom scrolling on Twitter or something and it comes up, it's typically more appreciated to have it fade in as opposed to be like a jarring like boom or something like that. You know what I mean? And then typically what I would do also is let's say this is the end of the clip. I'm not going to keep all this other stuff. So I'll just, say I want to clip it right there. Have a little bit of a runoff. So what I'll do is I'll do that same thing, but I'll do a fade out. And so then, you gotta admit, and then so it fades out. Super simple.
Nice.
But it's like it's the little thing. I always say like the little things add up to a big thing. Now something else that, like, just because I'm doing this here, I think that's really quick and easy here. And I can shoot you a file for like a template on this. But what I do is a lot of times I will take I'll take another like clip type thing. And in this case, this is a little longer, but I can shorten it. But I'll take something like this to highlight like my stream, so people, or like my clip, so people are like, oh, okay, so he's on Twitch or whatever, right? So this was a thing that I got off of the internet, and I'll show you guys how I do that. But you just like your green screens or whatever, you do a chroma key. The thing with video editors is think of it like you're stacking pieces of paper. So this is your bottom piece of paper, and so this is going to appear in front of this because it's on top. So that's how it layers. So like if I were to add like 17 more things, like just going up here, because it'll let me do it. But if I added like a bunch more things, you'll be able to see that you'll be able to see what's on top. And it's because a lot of times you'll do layering, but for purposes of like a quick and dirty like Twitter edit, you could do something like, this wouldn't be ideal, but whoa, you gotta admit, damn it. I was gonna say until it wasn't good, so like it's really easy to do stuff like this, and I'll show you how to find some stuff like this because there are hold on a sec. Okay, so here's one of my secrets to doing like some video editing stuff. I will go in and I will search up green screen, whatever I'm looking for. Let's say I want, so you see green screen dancing video game characters. I've searched that before. So let's just say I like this one. So we come in here and first we get out of this crap. So let's say I like this, right? So what I end up doing is, I mean, I'm technically doing it right now, but I record my screen with this situation happening here. So okay, so we've got our video, right? So I just recorded that. That's going to be local on my computer. I actually have a folder of stuff that I use. So let's keep with the dancing theme here. And I will just pop it onto whatever, and you just chroma key it out, which chroma key once again is going to be somewhere in this editor. You just click on your settings and there's an option for chroma key. It's under all tools. And you just click anywhere in the green so it gets the right color green, apply. And now if I wanted to, I've got dancing girl behind on top of my video, but behind my Twitch stuff. Damn it. I was gonna say until it wasn't good. You know. So super simple. And then as far as like if you're wanting to add audio, I'll show you another one of my secret sites. It's not really a secret, but myinstance.com. If I am needing a specific sound effect, this is usually what I go through here. So like here, I use Pornhub to get the Pornhub sound for a friend doing an alert. When I made his custom alert, it like comes up with his name in that style and stuff. But you can do anything in here. So let's say sad violin is one that I use a lot for editing. So sad violin, and then you can click on it. So click into the deal and you can click download MP3. Bam. We got the downloaded MP3 of this. So let me go ahead and move that off so you can see. Let me see where to. Oh, it popped it in a different thing. There it is on my desktop because that's where I have my stuff go. Bam. Now I've got sad violin. And once again, I can adjust the audio just for this. So let's play this whole thing now.
Yeah.
Whoa! You gotta admit.
I've got stream paused. Oh, there we go.
Damn it. I was gonna say until it wasn't good. So really simple edit stuff. Like, and that everything that I did right there, you won't need to know a ton of like editing stuff to do that in whatever program that you're using. So that's what those are some things that I would recommend. So just some like quick and easy stuff. You guys have any questions or anything that that's on your mind? Like, hey, you know, what if I wanted to do this? Like, how quick and easy could I do that?
So I'm using Vegas Pro.
Okay.
And so far it's almost identical. Honestly, I'm pretty sure. I think I'm going to quickly load mine up just purely because I know for a fact if I can see it, I can go. Yeah, I remember what issues I'm having.
Sure.
Just quickly load my up. But yeah, I mean, I think one of my biggest issues is I have an issue where a lot of don't know why, but the videos and it tends to come from Twitch. But when I load up the video, sometimes the sound and the video aren't in sync with each other.
Okay.
But I think it's the software doing that, and I don't know what can cause that otherwise. Because obviously, when you play the file that I download from Twitch, it's all in sync. The moment I load it up into Vegas, they're slightly apart.
Okay.
By probably half a second.
Okay. So yeah, so that's definitely in the software side of things.
Okay.
Now a trick that you could do. So I don't know how to do it necessarily in Vegas, but I've run into something similar.
Yeah.
So however you detach audio from your video.
Yeah.
And then you can drag around the audio wherever. And you can try to resync it that way. Now it could also be in, I'm sure there's an easier explanation for it that doesn't involve doing that. And it has something to do with either a codec or it's trying to open it as a specific type of file. My question is when you have the file in there, if you export it, is the audio in sync again or is it off sync again?
It'll be off sync. Yeah. Okay. The moment I try and render it, it will be off sync.
Yeah. So this is like
very strange.
Yeah, this is like a not pleasant way of doing it, but if it was off, let's say,
Mhm.
you know, I could take this and shorten this and then move this, and now it wouldn't be on, you know, with like whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like with my mouth or whatever. If I
Mm.
turn off this stuff, so you can see now that it's. You gotta admit. So then you can
Yeah.
make it even worse, I guess, to make it really obvious. But you gotta admit. So, I
Yeah.
mean, you can adjust it that way, and then you can zoom in and obviously fine tune it. But
Mhm.
there's something else there.
Yeah. 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 No, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Um, what about you, Sarah? Sal?
Huh?
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 Do you have any? Do you have any? Do you have any
No,
questions?
just
I know
absorbing
for a fact
everything.
I've got loads. I know for a fact I've got loads. I just for some reason, can you believe it? I can't think of them now.
No, and I know I went pretty quickly.
I know I've got loads.
I think I still
Um,
have. Let me get out
Yeah,
of
just
this here.
absorbing everything. It's like, wow, I could
yeah.
that could step up our clip showcase game here.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so this isn't that much stuff. It removed a bunch of them, but it's the same exact principle
Mm-hmm.
that I was just showing over and over and over again to make a bigger video.
Mm.
Um, so like for instance, this was my Final Fantasy 1 review video that I just put out. This is the end of
Mm-hmm.
it because what I do when I video edit, I re-render. So like I'll make like the first like 2 minutes, I'll render that file. So I
Yeah.
have one file that I'm trying to open instead of 400.
Okay.
Then so what I'll do is I'll render it, and then I'll take that file like here. Let me see if I probably still have a bunch of them. Final Fantasy reviews. So yeah, like this. So I have like Final Fantasy 1 review for 16 minutes. And that's because what I'll do is I'll export that file, then I'll drag and drop that file back in and delete
Right.
all of the edits that I did so that my computer is only trying to load the one file, the one
Mm.
video file, instead of like it trying to pull, in this case, you know, all these different pictures and stuff like that, and all these other like all this word edit. So you know, if you look, it's fast forward here. So like this effect, there were pictures and stuff here, but I deleted them off my computer, so it doesn't know where they are. Because since I was done with it, so like stuff like that, but it'll bog down your computer if you try to do too much stuff, depending on
Yeah.
your computer. And mine personally like wanted to die when I was trying to do that.
Mm.
Another another really simple thing. I'll just make a new project. And let's take these. Okay, so let's say I want to put all 4 of these in my video. Okay, so now I got four clips, you know, in my video and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we could one thing that you can do is if you know, and this works even for the Twitter stuff. Let's say you're wanting to combine some stuff. You can what you want to do is a lot of times you'll want to use a transition, like just because it's cleaner, and they're usually, you know, your whatever video software you will have a transitions like
Mm-hmm.
thing, and you'll just drag and drop whatever you want. But let's say I wanted to do that, and you know, maybe you had a like a little brief compilation of somebody screaming or being something like that. You could then, you know, like have them play at one after another to give like the idea of it, and you can throw in these little transitions or something, you know,
Yeah.
between. Just saying.
Oh yeah.
So, and it's real simple, and they, you know, there's a ton of them. So there's, you know, something simple like that, and then there's like crazy ones. Like I like some of these, and like I said, every software has a different types, but
Mm.
just saying. And it will automatically do the it'll do the audio for it as well. Just saying. So,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't really have.
That's awesome. Also, legit never played Final Fantasy the first one.
Well,
Yeah.
you got to remedy that.
Yeah, is it actually a good one? Is it a good one?
I like the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Is it actually the first one? Is it before 7? Because 7 was the first one I played.
yeah. Well, yeah. There's a reason why there's a 7 tag on the end of that.
Well,
That is
it's
the
like Star Wars. It started with 4. It's like it wasn't the first.
yeah. But yeah, the first one ever made was Final Fantasy, and it didn't say Final Fantasy 1. It was just Final
Final
Fantasy.
Fantasy. Yeah, it's legit. What year was that then? Do you know,
1987.
okay. Um, all right, fair. I just for some reason I thought it did Star Wars. Started off with a really weird name, like.
Oh
7,
no,
and
no.
then
There's
left
because
it in order.
there's the mainline entries that are all numbered, and
Yeah.
they came out in the order that the numbers are. But then there's like offshoots and stuff like that. Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff. But
Oh, fair.
I mean I don't really have too much else as far as like real quick things, because I mean I could go on
Mhm.
forever about like different stuff that you could potentially do, like as far as like adding like animations and stuff like that. So but your software will have something similar to that. Like you could even do, let's just do something like this. Sure. You could customize it, but you can make it where, let's say you were talking into the clip or whatever, just saying, and you can actually have it where it's, the whole thing is
Yeah.
moving between 2 points. And let's say you did this and this. Perfect. And then play. And so now it'll go to nothing, but then you could have it crawl across, or whatever you want to do.
Oh, look at that.
So it's more like just simple stuff. Animations are fun though, because you can also those are the ones that come like with it, but like
Yeah.
they're just like real quick ones. I like to do custom animations where what you're doing is you are controlling what it's doing at every spot. So let's say I wanted to do some crazy stuff here. So I would add multiple keyframes.
Mhm.
And what that is at that frame, this is what the picture is going to look like. So if I
Yeah.
do this, then I do, let's say this. Let's make it upside down. Then do this. And then I put one last one with it normal. What it's going to do is it's going to do this. It's going to do a circle.
Look at it go.
So, and then you can even do more stuff with it. Let's say I want it to get all squished looking. And then on this one, it's going to come over there and do that. And then
Oh my god, I can't wait to see
on
it.
this one, let's make it super big. And then it'll go to normal. So like, I mean, it can literally do all kinds of stuff.
We are the the descendants of the race that once lived among the clouds.
That's awesome.
So
it blends so nicely.
Yeah, well, and see, here's the thing is because you're telling it what it needs to be on that frame.
Yeah.
It does everything in between it. Like, okay, well, to get squished to this point by this frame, I need to squish at this rate to get to that squish point. But
That's good.
It's really simple stuff, and that's why I like the custom animations, because it's so much easier to just do exactly what I want. And then like same with like zooming in and zooming out, you can do the same thing. So like, and then you can stack them too. So I can zoom in, and let's say while it's squishing and stuff, it's going to zoom way in here, and then I'll add a zoom out. We're going to add that. And then so for the zoom out, it's going to come back to normal. And then so this one, I want to make it so it's the same size as this. So now it's going to do all that craziness, but it's also going to be zooming in all crazy too. So now while it's squishing, the picture itself is zooming in, and then now it's zooming back out.
The sky people.
Yeah, that was cool.
So you can stack stuff like that. And I mean, you can do like way more too, as far as adding even more stuff. But I think the big thing is just to realize that video editing's it's simple, it's just tedious. For when you're trying to do like more complicated things. And I think that's the biggest thing about it. But like for the quick and dirty edits, I mean, you can see like just how simple it is to come in here and then you just do your split,
Yeah.
split, volume down, and then you just listen to it a couple of times till it's the volume that you want it to be. And then you can do like the fade in, fade out. And it, like, if this was a clip, it would be super simple.
So you would literally take an entire
No,
stream.
these-
So, well, for example, General Andrews, because you mentioned it earlier, you would take one of his streams and you would help make it. I'm guessing YouTube ready or something.
Yeah, like if you look at his if you look at his YouTube channel, his like Darkest Dungeon playthroughs and stuff like that, I have a folder here, Gen DD.
How many hours of content is that though?
So like he would send me a, so let me just do this just for sake of having it clear.
Yeah.
So he'd send me a file and I would just
Yeah.
slap it in here depending on what it was. So in this here, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. So, and then I would wait for it to, you know, do its like optimizing. Cause what I don't start editing until I can see the audio graph. Cause there's no real point. Cause when you're making cuts and stuff like that, you want to, you know, key into those moments. So like I would hit play. It takes my computer a minute because it's like, holy crap, this is a 2.5 hour video.
Yeah.
And so now here's all the audio. Now what I would do for the purposes of that playthrough is I would look for, okay, when's he starting his run? So I'm just kind of scrubbing through it. Okay, so we got a, you know, stream battle, so we don't need to do that. Okay, so here we've got this. So right here is when it would start. So now I would tune way in and figure out where I was going to start it. That made sense based on what he was saying.
Folks, week 7 of our Torchless Blood Moon all DLC, all bosses challenge run.
Okay, so let me turn that up a little bit because it's kind of low. So like,
all right, folks, week 7 of our Torchless Blood Moon all DLC, all bosses challenge run.
So perfect. So then I would go ahead and just like I was doing on that other thing, I would do a split and then I would delete everything before it and go to the beginning here, add a fade in. And for the purposes of general stuff, I actually had a special like intro thing that I was using. I don't know if I think I got rid of it because he's not doing that. Yeah, he's not doing that series anymore. So I got rid of the thing, but like it would have that little thing. So here we have the intro and then the fade in. Then I would take like, okay, well, during this time here, I can see that there's absolutely no sound. And that's because it's a loading screen, right? So then I would take that and just delete that. And so then you're watching it and he gets done talking and then it's going to skip the loading screen and go straight into when he's like doing stuff again.
Yeah, that's the other part where I was trying to stress it. You know what I mean?
So, and then I would take that and basically do the same thing. And then I would, you know, I would be watching it through and then I would also look for, okay, when does this run end? So then I can go ahead and let's say this was the end of the run. Then I would split it, delete everything after, go ahead and add a fade out like at the end. And then I have some other stuff that like we use. So like his subscribe thing. So I would put that. I would also add, let's see. Trying to find it. Where did I put it? I have it in a different folder. but then I would add the thing for his, oh, that's what I did. I took it from this one. So, because he has that transition thing that he uses. So I would go ahead and take that, detach the audio because I used a different clip for this. Go ahead and get rid of that. And this is basically how it would end.
If only treasure could staunch the flow.
Huh.
And then so, yeah, something really simple like that. Also, a really big tip. Now this one's like, this one's one that I highly recommend. Whenever you make something, save it. So like for instance, in a lot of the General Andrews the highlight videos that I did for him, we did, you know, like segments of like stating the obvious for Posty. I guess you guys probably couldn't see that because it's on the Discord. The OBS stream caught that, but I had this file. Because I forgot I'm not sharing my monitor, I'm sharing the program. So you guys probably didn't even see the my instance thing. You'll probably have to see that through the OBS recording. So that probably didn't make much sense. But yeah, whenever you make something, holy God. Whenever you make something, save a version of it with a like green screen version. Because then what you can do is you can reuse the same things that you've made multiple times. So like what I've got here is, let me see. I've got a bunch of these different like things that I use all the time for different videos. And just depending on what I'm trying to use, or what the edit is I'm trying to do is. So like I have this one that works for like Twitter. So, and it's literally, it says Twitter name because it's that simple. And then I went ahead and made it custom for me. And I have a version of like a subscribe and like little animation thing. Another version of that. But keep a copy of all of them with a green screen. So all you have to do is just drop it into whatever file you're working on. And then you just do the chroma key and you're done. That way, like you can use the same stuff over and over and save yourself a ton of time with like editing. Like, let me see, do I have the one social templates? Is it this one? Yeah. I can go ahead and I'll share a file. I'll share a thing with you guys here, but like I have this. So I got these. And so like if you wanted to advertise like a Discord or something, so they're just plain little animations. But then what you do is in your editor, you add in text. I usually use a fading text because I like the way it looks. And then you find like whatever font that you want. Let's go with, this will be fine. I'll just type it in there and my Discord, yo. So you do that. And like, you know, obviously, you know how to fill and stuff and make something look better. But then what I'll do is I'll find, okay, when does that white part completely, is it not moving anymore? So I'll go, let's say roughly about there. So I'll just eyeball this usually. And so I would more like get that, you know, tight to where it would be good if I was really like making it. But yeah, I would just adjust this until it got exactly to when I wanted it to pop up. So like that's a lot better. So it's right when it finishes, and then hopefully it's fading right as it fades, it goes away. So super simple, but you make like one of those and then you export that as a separate video. And now you have a template thing that you can use to highlight your, in this case, Discord.
Yeah.
For every clip or every video or something like that that you make. And all you have to do is just slap it on whatever and you're good to go. So like I would just take it, I would render it.
Yeah.
Say that's fine.
Can you actually put chroma key on a clip that isn't chroma key as you upload it? Or?
So here's the thing, you can. So here, and I'll show you why you don't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
So if you make it a chroma key, let's get rid of that, right? Because that's how we want it to look on stuff, right?
Right.
So let's export that. I'll call this one new project C. We'll export that. Now let's get rid of that. And let's say we were going to just toss these on part of General Andrews' thing here. This is why you want to keep them with a chroma key. So let me go ahead and now drag them into this project. You zoom in because they're tiny. So let's have this one here, and we'll do the other one immediately thereafter. Oh my God, it hates the fact that it's trying to load. It's trying to load this crazy long video. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead, and because this one would be one that we would chroma key out, so we're going to chroma key that out. And now let's watch them back to back and see what happens.
And that will go on YouTube as well. Our furthest playthrough so far for this.
So there's the Discord yo with the chroma key.
With 16 kills, or well, 16 deaths. We're definitely gonna go on a short, and the reason why we're gonna go on a short is that this character.
So if you chroma key it out, the video doesn't have like the metadata knowing that you chroma keyed something. It only has the fact that there is only this thing popping up. So by default, a video is going to have the rest of the screen black because that's the only thing that got put there. So you want to keep a chroma key, a chroma on your stuff that you're going to reuse so that you can do just that. And I have a folder. Let me delete all this out again. But like, for instance, I keep a folder with a ton of different effects and stuff like that for whatever I'm trying to use. And remember, I guess you guys probably didn't see it in the Discord stream, but when if you look back at the OBS stream, if you see what I was doing on my desktop, after I make the thing, you'll be able to see that I was watching a video with a green screen of something dancing, and you just record your screen. And so, I mean, this is literally something I got. I mean, the video name is like what, Blood Green Screen or something. And it was literally in a thing like, hey, here's this effect for free. Feel free to download it. So I did. I'll mute it for the time being. But because I think a lot of these files have just whatever I was randomly listening to at the time. So then you have like, this blood effect. So I'll play it and then it'll go to right there. So like it starts like right here. So I would then, like, I could clean my own files up here a little bit. Like if I re-rendered this, if I re-rendered this right here, it would be better because then I wouldn't have to do this every time I use it. But I don't use this effect. Like I've only used this effect once, and it was for General Andrews intro for his Darkest Dungeon. And actually I felt like I did a pretty cool effect on that. Because what I did is I took okay, you guys, let me switch to show you my desktop and not the program. So give me just a second here. because this I should have done this from the beginning. It would have been better for you guys. Okay. So now you should be able to see my actual desktop. So the main things that I use, like this is another thing that I use all the time, Paint. It's so simple, but it gets the job done of what I want to do all the time. So let's say I am making or you know what? Here, I got a great example. It's actually even me. Okay, so like my Final Fantasy review intro. Let me pop it here. And pop it here. So this effect I do at the beginning with my name. So I have it muted, but as you can see, there's like a video happening behind it. It's super simple. So once again, like there's this video happening behind like my name, right? Easy way to do something like that. And just remember whatever you want to see through, you make that green. So if I wanted to make that exact same thing again, I'd make this black. I would just make it, start a canvas black, take a text and let's just say this one. And I need this to be the same resolution just because it makes it easy and I don't want to have to mess with stuff. All right, so let's do that. I don't know how big this is. And we take a green. All the cool things. Okay, now we've got all the cool things. So let's just put that right there. And let's save as a PNG and ATCT because it's all the cool things. Okay, so then what we do is we take our ATCT and we add a chroma on this. Grab our color, and now we have that effect. Super simple. And so you can see the stuff that's happening behind it. Really easy stuff. And so like some of these, I have a movie one. So like General Andrews. Okay, this is a great one. So in General Andrews' intro that I made him for his the speedrunning mystery speed theater, or again, I'm drawing a blank. I'm bad about this, but so what I did is I actually used like this effect right here. So first we're gonna chroma key this. So that's chroma keyed, apply. And then I had whatever the video was, which in this case, I had some other stuff popping up there, but let's take, I want to take one of those, like something that's static. Well, something that's static that's not 2 hours long, so my computer doesn't die. I'll just take a random replay. So what I did is I then stacked this on top. And so and I did it like, a lot of times what I'll do also, I have a folder that's literally this colors for videos, black. all it is just a black like canvas type deal.
Yeah.
It just makes it easier. I could probably learn my software better and it'd be like easy, but this just works for me. So then I have it like, could do something like this. And so the other video is actually playing right now still, even though you can't see it. But as soon as this opens, now you're going to see that video that's currently playing underneath because I chroma keyed that green. Yeah. Then, so here's what I did with that in his video. I then added a zoom in to this. So we take a zoom, we go zoom in, apply to the clip, And
Oh, I can see what this is going to do.
yeah, so then what we do is I am going to zoom in into the green area. And it doesn't really matter where. I just want it centered. So then what's going to happen is the camera's going to zoom in and that video is going to appear as the only thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's cool.
So, and now you have that, and that's how I did that effect on his stuff.
Yeah.
Same with like this movie theater thing opening up at the end.
Mhm.
It's going to open up with a green screen, so you could put anything in there. So once again, I could take that, I could slap this, right here,
Mhm.
delete out this old one, add in a zoom in effect. There we go. Sure, that looks great. Zoom in. And then you just, any box is fine because you'll be able to center it. So I know that that's centered. And then we add a chroma key to it. Chroma, green, apply. And now we have basically the exact same thing, just with a different video that does it. But as you saw, something you got to watch out for when you're chroma keying stuff is look on the sides. See how it's kind of appearing? And that's because it's taking the green that's actually in this photo. So then you can adjust your chroma key as far as the tolerance.
Okay, and that's just basically how fussy it's picking up those colors.
Exactly. So if I turn the
Right.
the tolerance way down, I'm only looking for it to do exactly that color. Boom.
Mm.
And now you don't see those that artifacting
Interesting.
anymore.
Huh.
So then you give it the second here. There it is. Hey, look, and the curtains are open. And now I would obviously time this better if I was doing it, but there you go. And the curtains are still there. It's still in this video. I'm zoomed in to the point where you can't see it anymore.
That's so good.
And you can do that. Like you can make that same effect with anything. Without it even being, so I can take this, I can do that same effect. Whoops, stupid. I can take the same effect. Stop. And I could do it with black squares. So, but it would be done differently. So
Yeah, I
like,
didn't pick up.
so you would take it. Let's just do this. Do another one. And put it like right like this. It's not going to be centered because I'm not trying to make this like super good or anything. But we take this, and then you can do the same thing but with animations. So animation, add an animation, and I want the end point. I want this to be, this is the left one, so I want it off the screen. Let's make it right like that. And then click on this so it gets lined up on the same frame time, but click on your other video, add animation, and this one I want to be right there at the end. And so now I can I kind of did the same thing without it looking all like this is like the poor man's way to do it without having like a video or whatever. So now I've got my things and all of a sudden they're opening up and all I did was use 2 black squares to create an effect. And I didn't need a chroma key, didn't need anything.
No.
So it's simple. It's just you got to think like the best way I could say is you're literally working with pieces of paper and you're stacking pieces of paper on top of each other and imagine moving them with your hands in different directions and stuff. And that's how you can work with animations. That's how you work with anything. Do you guys have any questions or anything else that you want me to go over?
I'm good. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That was awesome. Sarah's very good at, just listening, I guess.
I'm just absorbing everything. It's like, whoa.
It's a lot, man.
I know.
Are you new to this, are you, sorry?
Yeah, I haven't done anything like this ever. I
Man.
mean, it's a good skill to learn because I like, yeah, I do the social media aspects for the team, so
Mhm.
I just
Well,
be at this.
Dan's the man.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if you have any questions or anything in the future, I mean, you know, always reach out to me. I'm always happy
As
to help. Um,
yeah.
and if
I
it's
was going to ask if you don't mind, because obviously, like, the problem is, like, because obviously you've been working today. If I hadn't been working, I would have written down a load of things. Because I know there's always these little things when I'm actually using my software.
oh,
There's
sure,
always
sure.
something halfway through my edit. I'm always going, shit, I need to know how to do this. I mean, I know there's Google and stuff, but sometimes it's just easy just to have, like, rather than read a document, a web document, it's just easy just to actually have someone physically go, yeah, do this, and see
Sure.
it.
Yeah,
And just like what you've done there, that was amazing.
yeah.
Brilliant.
And if you like I said, if it is something like, you know, let's say you have an idea, you're like, okay, so I was
Mm,
thinking of, I wanted the video to do this, but I don't
mm,
know how to get that effect.
mm,
I would be able to, you know, assist in the best way that I could and be like, okay, well, if I was doing something like that, I would probably go at it in this direction.
mhm,
And it might, you know, it might help you out or it might not, you know. So
mhm,
usually I think the big thing to realize is that you don't need super fancy videos and stuff to make something that looks semi decent. Like,
mm,
just using an effect as simple as this, you know, you have a black screen that opens,
mm.
like, and you know,
Nice.
you can make that at whatever speed that you wanted or whatever. And just right there, it's the same deal. Is it's simple once you realize how you're wanting to do it, you know.
Mm,
um
yeah.
so now they can make it, there it goes, it's quicker. And I didn't even have them centered, right?
Mm,
I didn't even have them centered on the screen. I think it was like right here, but it looks like it's centered, like
yeah.
pretty close, just because I have them get off the screen at the exact same time.
Yeah.
um So, but you know, obviously, if I was doing other stuff, I would be more exact on the files that I'm using. But that was just like I said, most of what I do, most of what you know, most of what most people use these things for is real, like, quick and dirty edits. You're not doing like really huge things or anything. So like even doing something simple like that, and
Mhm,
you know, you could replace these black squares with anything. You could
mm,
have, let's say you have your let's say you have a wallpaper that's like your logo or
mhm.
something. You could literally take your logo, split your logo in half, and then you have your logo come apart, you know, and then
Yeah, yeah.
behind your logo is, you know, your video or whatever, or like your clip. Real simple.
I have to admit as well, I will admit the this is what's the move at what software is this?
This is Movavi.
Movavi. And did you say it's free? It looks really comprehensive for free software.
This is not free.
Oh,
But
okay. I was gonna say.
DaVinci Resolve is free and it's very
Okay.
similar. But like Movavi goes on sale a lot. So I think I'm using 2021 video suite. Which one is it? Oh, 2020. I'm not even using the newest one. I'm using
Yeah.
Movavi 2020. But I have the video suite, and the video suite lets you so I can edit videos, you know, fairly
Mhm.
easy, but I can also do audio. Um I can do photos, although I don't, I've never have. The only thing that I've used used Movavi for, even if I'm doing audio stuff, I just load it up here. If I'm like gonna convert audio or something, you know, I'll just load it up here, and I will, I'll just re-export it. So I'll go to export and I'll go to this and I'll just change whatever the file type that I'm wanting it to be.
Gotcha.
So I'll,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is. But you could make your own GIFs in here, which I have
Oh,
done
that's nice.
multiple times. Um, like hypothetically, if you wanted this entire thing here to be a GIF, you can just export this as a GIF, and bam,
Mhm.
you've got a GIF. The only thing is that this software doesn't. So like something like Adobe Premiere. Um, it will embed the thing with layers when you export. Movavi does not, or transparency. So that's the one thing like that you won't really be able to do via this. But I've used this now for a while, and I haven't had any real issues with it. It's pretty simple, and this is the newer version, but like it goes on sale a lot. I think you can get it via Steam a lot of times for, you know, less than like $15. Um it'll go on like 85-90%
It's a
sales.
lot of software for $15.
Well,
Um,
yeah, the video suite. Yeah, I think the video suite is more like a $30 or $40, but that is a lot of software. You can get just the editor. So the Video Editor Plus, this is what their newest version, 2021. As you can see, it looks fairly much the same as far as like
yeah, they
the
don't
layout.
change that much. It's like my I've got Vegas Pro I think 16, which is two models out of date now, but
Yeah.
they've barely changed.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
they'll have big sales on here. I mean, just depending on what you're doing. Like, I think this was the one I used 17 first. So I have what, like 3,500-ish hours
3,500. Oh
in
my God.
in editing crap. But
It's
it's
all General Andrew's fault.
I mean, it's a good portion.
That's all yeah.
So
I bet.
yeah, so General Andrews, and I have another YouTube client that I will edit their stuff as well. And I've done like they did a full playthrough of Breath of the Wild, of Final Fantasy Crisis Core, Nier Automata, like, and I edited like it's like a 50 plus part series, you know, because they're doing that long. But it also depends on, okay, how long do they want each episode to be? So like 20 to 30 minutes, okay, you know, it's gonna make it that much longer, right? So like hell, even this here is there's a 59% off right now for the 2021 Editor Plus. Was this a convert it to 2022 when it comes out? Oh no, this is just a converter to convert file types. Oh, that's stupid. I wouldn't be pay. I don't even want that. But simple stuff. I think that'll do it for me though.
Yeah. No, honestly, man, thank you so much. I'm gonna go straight to bed if you don't mind.
No, I definitely do not.
It's but it's good to know that obviously it's good to know if I do only have more questions, I can just literally
get
a hold of you.
Yeah.
And then you can just whether it be a case of replying or maybe scheduling another video call at 7 o'clock in your afternoon.
Sure. Well, and I mean, and honestly, if you have any issues or something, just take a screenshot of your whole screen and be like, hey, this came up, and just shoot me that. And I'll be like, okay, I can look at it and be like, oh, okay, well, you know, maybe if we did this or something, that might fix whatever issue. So I'm always available. So
yeah. And as much as even though, sorry, I don't know as much as Dan, if he's unavailable, I know a little bit.
Yeah, I really wish I should have learned this sooner when I started streaming. I'm like 4 years into my stream, and I'm like, how do I not know this? Like, this would have been easier.
Yeah. Well, Google almost knows just as much as Dan, but not quite.
No, Google definitely. There's plenty in this program that I don't know how to use. It's one of those things, like, as you start making projects for yourself constantly, you know, more and more, you get an idea of something to do and you don't know how to do it. And then you end up Googling how to make that idea happen. And now that's one more set of tools or stuff that you know how to do. Like if I was trying to conceal something, I actually have a highlight and conceal button. So you can, let's say you wanted to blur out something. I can literally just do this here, conceal. And
oh, cool.
And now this entire clip has that portion of it
oh, look at that.
Like concealed.
So it kind of has AI tracking then as well. It literally will so if that character was to have moved, will it?
Well,
continue
it
to
won't.
feel that character, or
It won't, but
tracking?
you can do
Yeah.
that with animation. So you can do that
Right.
with adding animation, like telling it to
Gotcha.
where to move and stuff. But
Right.
like turn off highlight because there's no reason for the highlight. But yeah, so you can edit and like you can do something like that. So like if you were to try to do that, you would make the box like smaller on this person or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you can make the animation so when in the video when I'm moving, then
Right.
this box is moving over that.
Yes.
So the box itself is actually sliding, but it won't
Yeah.
do it automatically. Whereas I think it's like After Effects and some some of Adobe stuff will do that, and it will automatically realize that's what you're trying to conceal or do.
Yeah.
But then you're looking at, a subscription cost every month. Whereas
Yeah.
I
It's
paid
not cheap.
like, I think I paid probably about $40 for this entire video suite.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years ago, and I didn't pay anything else.
Oh, that was actually I know that's one thing, but I think I already know the answer to it. But like closed captions.
Uh-huh.
Like I was wondering, is there an easy way to do closed captions if the software doesn't support it in the software, if it makes sense?
Not really a quick
Yeah.
way. I mean, your best way is like, adding text. And
Yeah.
like it'd be
That's
something
what I was.
like a flyby text or something,
Mhm.
or not even a flyby, it'd be like a complete scroll. Or depending on how you're wanting to do it. Yeah, so you could do like a scroll like this and
Yeah.
all the things that I am saying at this moment in time are being displayed on the screen.
Huh.
And then you take this
Exhilarating.
and you make it, like a thin, and you would probably add more than, it would be more than just one, but then you can go ahead and do something like this. And I think it should, oh, actually, because this one is a scroll already, I could just do that. And let's say make it take a long time, otherwise it's going to fly by. And so it'd be like, so that's one of the ways that you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do it where you have the text, like when I did all of my music videos. So I did, sorry, I know you're trying to get to bed, but I'll show
No,
you
that's all right. It's
something real
okay. No,
quick.
no. I asked the question. That's fine.
So like when I was doing, sorry, I'm pulling up one here. Okay, so I'll just pull this up. And so when I was doing these, I wanted to do some type of thing that people could see the words with, and I just ended up, let me fast forward. So I made just a bar like that and then just swapped it like this, and I manually did that. Like,
That must have taken you ages.
well, you
Do that.
figure out fast ways to do stuff. So
Yeah.
like that is all that is just I think it's just simple text. I think I just did this. And then what you do is you make a so the background for that was like let's just use the blue again.
Mhm.
So I take this. There's that. Make it a font that you can actually see. Give it an outline and a shadow. And then some stuff. Then what I would do, because I have this formatted how I like it, right? So
Mhm.
let's say I'm talking. Then I copy that, I paste it right there.
Mhm.
And some more stuff. So now if like it was taught, like the video was going, so you got some stuff, some more stuff, and you just keep copying and pasting your
Yeah.
previous formatting. Or what you can do is you can take this, drag it, and then split it a bunch, for however many times you're wanting to change stuff.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that, but then you have to type in the stuff. The worst part, obviously, is you're having to type in everything,
Yeah.
which this software at least is not going to catch.
Mhm.
And if it can, I don't know how such a thing happens, but I don't think it does.
Right.
But
Nope,
that's how I would do closed captioning. But you're in for a lot of time.
Yeah, that adds a lot of time to us, like a quick project or something.
Like YouTube has an auto closed caption thing where it can try to recognize your stuff. But you know, it obviously would depend on where you're trying to send that to.
Yeah.
So
No, that's fine. That's answered that as well.
cool.
Rightio. Thank you very much, Dan.
Yeah, happy to help.
You absolute legend. And
Oh.
it was lovely hanging out with you too, Sorry.
Yeah. You should go to bed.
I'm going to freaking bed. Oh, God.